There's a certain item that Sachiko gets in the game that is used. Cool. It doesn't matter now anyway. We destroyed Heavenly Host. It's gone. An awkward tension filled the room, or at least our table. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. And then there's a reason I sought you out, something I wanted to discuss with you. Aiko produced a thick, hardbound file folder from the light blue bag she'd brought with her. She opened it to reveal several documents of a questionable nature. Among them were what looked to be a family tree, as well as numerous pages featuring black magic symbology or images that looked like tree branches. Black magic charts? And is that the Shinozaki family tree? You may find what I'm about to tell you a bit shocking. Aiko was looking directly into my eyes now. Her gaze was fixed, intense, and unblinking. What Kishinuma said a moment ago is incorrect. Huh? What do you mean? Heavenly Host Elementary has not been destroyed. It still exists, even now. Take a look at this. Oh no, it's I forgot her name. Yuko, right? No. It started with a Y. I know it did. Aiko placed a black and white photo on the table. It wasn't the clearest of pictures, but there was no doubt that the location it depicted was Heavenly Host Elementary. In the picture, a small girl could be seen standing in one of those all too familiar hallways, holding a hatchet in her right hand. It's Heavenly Host. Yeah, Yuki, there we go. Where did this come from? We have confirmation then. It's a photograph I've taken. I didn't have the power to produce a clear image, but this is the current state within Heavenly Host. I don't understand. What am I looking at? I can't even describe what was going through my head at that moment. I felt like I was about to burst. Aiko, however, remained calm as ever while recounting her story. Let's start at the beginning. First, the red box from yesterday. After some time, I was able to open it, and I found these spirit items contained within. The box I'd found on Makina's futon. Inside it were apparently two stones resembling magatama, comma-shaped ceremonial objects from Japanese antiquity. Magatama. That's used a lot in Persona. Also included in the box were several more roughly hewn stones, as well as a lining along the edges consisting of crumpled pieces of thin white paper. Unfortunately, most of the box contents were broken or damaged. This pair, however, were still fully intact. They looked almost like a demented version of yin and yang symbols, puzzle pieces that were clearly built to be slotted together. Aiko held one stone in each hand and was motioning them toward one another as if to drive that point home. Spirit items are, in the simplest terms, items which have been infused with the thoughts and feelings of the dead. Those who bear such objects will be visited by the spirits within them, or at least be forever privy to their memories and earthly laments. It's a wonderful thing. It may not look quite the part, but I'm actually quite an avid collector of spirit items. Ishinuma and I briefly locked eyes again, and then you just stop there and be like, and then we looked at each other, and we I'm gonna, no. We shared the same look of bewilderment. Aiko's personality was much more twisted than either of us had initially perceived it to be. I tried to get a fix on this little girl's thoughts, and in doing so, I heard a vengeful cry and saw an image of a girl with braided hair in an abandoned school building. My curiosity having been piqued, I took out his camera. At this, she produced an old instant camera and... Oh my god, why am I yawning so much? And placed it on the table in front of us, and tried to take a photo of the image in my mind. The result is that shot. This particular spirit item only allows me to produce images from the exact moment in time when the picture is taken. Past and future alike are beyond its reach. I examined the photograph in greater detail, and a chill ran down my spine. There was absolutely no denying that it depicted what it depicted. No, I was actually shaking. Without Sachiko Shinozaki, the school should have collapsed. It should have ceased to exist as soon as we escaped. I believe the collapse was halted, perhaps right on the brink even. Maybe because of the person to whom that voice I heard belongs. Aiko motioned toward the photo in my hand. It could even be this girl in the picture. I wonder who she is. The answer was beginning to dawn on me. A sudden cold sensation exploded through my body, and I shuddered as if trying to shake off the encroaching realization. God damn, you really think that hellhole is still around? Kishinuma leaned forward. The conversation was clearly beginning to engage him a lot more than it had been. Heavenly Host Elementary, or rather, the dimensional space that took on the form of Heavenly Host Elementary, fascinated me from the moment I introduced it to Naho. I began to research it independently, and learned that its true identity is, well, something like a new nirvana, a netherworld, or hereafter, an otherworldly plane of death. Though ordinarily one tends to think of there being only this world and the next. A new nirvana? That's correct. You know about Yoshie Shinozaki, do you not? Yeah? 10 chapters, cool. And of her clinic, the Shinozaki Estate, wherein the grimoire known as the Book of Shadows was located. Yeah? Why? How could she know about that? A million thoughts, a million questions were running through my head. I was speechless. All I could do was just sit there and hear her out. Oh shit! Sachiko's mom was hot. It was like a muffled scream or a moan of damn, did she kill her patients? She did some mercy killings? I thought she was innocent! Muffled scream or a moan of agony. The sound you make when you want to make a sound, but are barely able to. That one was a little more forceful, accompanied by thrashing. It caused the nearby table light to fall over and roll along the ground. You know what they should do? If we're... okay. They should really release... okay, since they're doing it for Danganronpa, they are re-releasing the first 2 games on PlayStation 4, remastered. They should put all three Corpse Party games, like, remastered onto the PS4. Please, dear, come now. You must stay calm. This was Yoshie Shinozaki's clinic, and Yoshie herself was on top of her husband, holding him down with both her hands. She continued her Shinto purification chant to prevent Seiji from biting off his own tongue. He had been gagged with a towel. Needless to say, he wasn't looking particularly well. Not far from where this was occurring, Sachiko stood aghast, trembling as she watched the proceedings with hesitant, sidelong glances. Izanagi no Okami, who visits the underworld and beholds our foul spirits, guide us to the cleansing waters of the Tachibana on the Oro no Ahagihara shores in the land of Tsukushi. Wow. You need those figurines? Izanagi no Okami? That's the wolf of Izanagi. Right? Or is it the fox? Okami will take you. It's the wolves. Okay. The wolves of Izanagi. Izanagi is the goddess of the underworld, or the person who controls the underworld in Japanese mythology. That's cool, because I know Oro no Ahagihara, the land of Tsukushi. Seiji, still collapsed on the floor, was clearly suffering. His body was bent into a most unnatural shape, and he was fervently clawing at his neck. I beseech thee, in the name of the divine virtues of the gods gathered here, to wash away the sins we've committed and the impurities that dwell within our minds and bodies. Sachiko's father screamed throughout his gag, foam beginning to froth out from its edges. He was going into cyanosis. Ghostly images of Shinozaki women from ages past smiled down upon the event from the ceiling, laughing and mocking his suffering. Worse still, some of the women had traditionally blackened teeth, giving their smiles an unintentionally sinister edge. The atmosphere within the room was heavy, as if spirits occupied every empty corner, dancing and flitting about freely and joyously. Wait, Emmy, I remember you mentioning this before. I don't remember if it was for Blood Drive or Book of Shadows. You mentioned something about how, like, Shinozakis, like, can't marry or something because eventually their spouse will, like, go crazy or something like that. I think you mentioned that before. Is this, like... I think that's what's happening now. Seiji's body sharply bent and began convulsing. Come into this world, multitudinous Okami of Haredo. Please, dear, stay with me. Miyoya no Mitama, I beg of you, please do not take him. Her great-grandmother, Seira, the head of the Shinozaki family, was among the black-teethed women laughing joyously at Seiji's suffering. Yeah, something to do with the Shinozaki. Yeah, that's what you mentioned. Was it from Book of Shadows, or was it from this one? Daddy! Daddy! His voice began to weaken and his convulsions began to lose strength. Finally, the last spark of life had left his body. His eyes rolled back into his head and all movement ceased. Daddy, why aren't you breathing? She tried to save her husband? Dang, dude. Sachiko looked up, eyes glazed over with tears. Yoshie, too, was stricken with grief and despair. This is what it means to be a Shinozaki. To be part of the cursed bloodline, all men who marry in are guaranteed to die quickly. Not even Yoshie could circumvent that fate. Okay, so like... what if... Okay. Here's my question. It says all men who marry in are guaranteed to die quickly, right? So what is it that triggers the curse? Like, at what point in the marriage does the curse start working? You know, like, is it when he proposes, or is it when they're during their engagement time? Is it during the wedding when it starts happening? Is it after they get married? And like, what if Ayumi never gets married, but she still has like a relationship with like Yoshiki, you know? Like, technically they're not married, so would it affect him or would it not? So like, you know, like Yoshiki, he's probably like, right now, what's going through his mind after hearing this, he's probably like, shit, dude, I can't marry Shinozaki. And is it if they marry into the Shinozaki family, or if a Shinozaki marries into another family? So what if Ayumi decides to take the Kishinuma name instead? Would that still affect Yoshiki or not? You know? Sob, sob. So she turned to the forbidden book, an item she and her family had been protecting for generations from those who might misuse it. The grimoire, the Book of Shadows. Yeah, you know, like what if they moved to like the US and got married there, you know? Would the curse follow them all the way to the US? Is it a Japanese exclusive? I don't know, like they could be a little more clear about that. I don't judging by how you're reacting to it, I guess they don't explain further into detail or they don't explain enough. But like, yeah, you know, but what are you gonna do? To lose a loved one was a fate she feared more than anything else, so she tried to offset it through black magic. It was an act of truly absurd foolishness. She must have cared for him so deeply. She would have literally done anything to see him again, no matter the cost to her own immortal soul. Okay, so if she got married... Okay, hold on. I forgot. I forgot if Sachiko was... Was she born before... No, she wasn't. She was born after after the mom got married, I think. And Sachiko was like 8 or so, 6 or 8. So like Yoshiki could okay, what if Yoshiki got married to Ayumi? Took the Shinozaki name, so technically he has the curse, right? But then what if he gets a divorce? Like he gets a divorce and then they just get remarried and then divorce and you know, like what if they did that? It's like, well shit, if it's like an 8-year like time limit or something, you might as well like get divorced every 4 years and then get remarried. You know? Like you don't have to hold a wedding every time. You can just go to your like city hall and get a marriage certificate. They'll probably be like, "Why the hell do you guys keep marrying and divorcing?" But, you know, like shit, Kishinuma's trying to live and Ayumi wants him to live because they're gonna get married and have beautiful children together. Aiko stared deeply into my eyes, seemingly fishing for a reaction to her tale. But then, what happened next was almost beyond belief. I continued listening, unknowingly stroking the wound on my thigh as unpleasant memories of my own foolish run-in with black magic resurfaced. The Shinozaki blood that flowed through Yoshie's veins was more powerful than anyone could have known. Its energy spawned something much different than what Yoshie intended. By which, of course, I mean... I instantly knew what she was going to say. From the book, she created a new nirvana. They could be like the two people from Parks and Rec, where they want to marry and divorce for a while. There, one could coexist with the dead for all eternity. It was a new dimension cut from the netherworld itself, forcibly born onto the world of the living. Oh. Yoshie must have lost half her sanity right there. She tried to leave her own child, Sachiko, in the real world while living with her husband's soul in the new nirvana. The land of corpses. However, this nirvana had a mind of its own. Yoshie couldn't possibly control it. Shinozaki or no. I knew that all too well. Just like Yoshie, I'd experienced my own tragic failure with black magic at the Shinozaki clinic. Black magic has its own blowback of sorts. Her husband's soul was split apart and scattered in all directions, and Yoshie's life, too, was on the verge of being snuffed out. She knew she'd made a mistake, she deeply regretted it, and as she took what she could have only assumed to be her dying breath, her sole daughter, Sachiko, in possession of a nearly limitless spiritual potential, absorbed the entirety of this new nirvana into her body. Sachiko? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, now, okay, hold on. I'm confused now. Okay, so Yoshie made a new, made Heavenly Host, basically, right? So So like, how do I word this? So she basically made Heavenly Host, and at the time, Heavenly Host was still in elementary school, right? So I guess she made Heavenly Host into that Nirvana, while also, like, coexisting with the real world? I think? Right? So, like, cause she died, or whatever, slipping down the stairs, or pushed, I forgot. I think she was, the original story was like she was pushed by the principal? I I'm drawing like a blank because it's been a while. Uh, she was pushed by the principal, right? So she died there. Okay. So, what the fuck? Jeez. So oh my god, okay. So basically Heavenly Host, there was the original Heavenly Host and then the spiritual Nirvana Heavenly Host living on the same plane, kind of. And so Yoshie was able to see her husband, kind of, but not really, because he was separated into all these corners. And then, like, why am I thinking so hard about this? Oh my god. I should just keep playing. I don't... I don't know. I thought this was supposed to clear stuff. I thought this was supposed to clear stuff up. Not that. God, it's... oh my god, okay. The poor girl collapsed to the floor, violently thrashing, just about as the weight of an entire dimension crushed her from the inside. This action had saved her mother's life, certainly, but death would have surely been preferable. Picking herself up, Yoshie rushed to her daughter's side in tears. Sachiko! Sachi, why? Mommy, don't die, Mommy! I think how Sachiko's got like a full head of hair. She looks like a grown adult in a child's body. Both parent and child were bawling, pain mixing with relief, mixing with pain again. Ah! Ah! The little girl buried her face into Yoshie's bosom and just cried and cried. Yoshie grasped her tightly in both arms, tears streaming down her face uncontrollably. By this point, Sachiko's body had begun producing a dark blue aura. I'm sorry, Sachi. I'm so sorry. Mommy was wrong. Mommy has you, so from now on, Mommy will never leave you. She'll never even think of leaving you again. I thought Yoshie died first. Right? Fuck, dude. I don't... Okay, Yoshie died first, and then they killed Sachiko, the principal, and the son. Right? Fuck! This is... okay, this is really... I didn't mean to press that button. As you know, Sachiko is a direct descendant. Oh my god, dude, I'm so confused. Its backstory, goddamn, dude. I don't know. I'm trying to piece it together. I can't really. I thought I knew my corpse party, but I guess skipping Book of Shadows really screwed me over. Okay, let me just give me a second. Okay, so Yoshie, I guess, created Heavenly Host. Okay, he created Heavenly Host, and and it it mentioned here how Sachiko took like the whole, she like absorbed the whole like thing into her body. So what I think happened is that is that after Sachiko absorbed the school or the Nirvana, they tried going back to living their normal life at the school, and then the whole incident where the principal pushes down Yoshie and Yoshie dies, and then he sees Sachiko there, or Sachiko witnessed it, and then the principal does his shit. I forgot what he does. I don't remember if he like raped her or just like kept her locked up or something, but she dies eventually and then gets buried underneath the school, and then the events of Corpse Party happen, and that's where we, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, okay, I think I've pieced it together. So once Sachiko dies, the whole Nirvana thing, no, the whole Nirvana thing basically takes Heavenly Host with it, right? Yeah, it takes Heavenly Host with it, and then she makes Yoshikaze go like crazy, and he kidnaps the kids, and then that's how Sachiko was there to like snip the tongues off. Yeah, okay, we got it. We did it. Yay. Oh my god. Okay. As you know, Sachiko is a direct descendant of the Shinozaki line, a thoroughbred. It seems her power is greater than Yoshie's. It had to be, of course, for her to house an entire dimension within her body. Aiko took a big noisy sip from her coffee mug. At the time, she must have been the strongest practitioner of dark arts in the world, little girl or no. Yet despite that, she wound up dying. That's right, the same day Yoshie fell and died, Sachiko disappeared. That was 50 years ago now. It's okay, Emmy. They were both killed by the principal. Just as I suspected. The principal's heinous actions are to blame, then, for resurrecting the new Nirvana within Sachiko and creating the closed spaces we know as Heavenly Host Elementary. It's probably because the school was the site of Sachiko's violent demise that her Nirvana took on its form. Even then, with Sachiko reborn as a spirit in that realm, she was still all-powerful, seemingly continuing to exert complete control over it. I guess that's why she was able to manifest so many different horrible things in there. This was all starting to make a sick sort of sense. The pieces were falling into place and painting an absolutely awful picture. I shuddered to myself as I considered it. When you escaped, you removed Sachiko from the equation, but the Nirvana remained and is going berserk once more. It should have just disappeared. This world would be better off without it. This entire conversation was a roller coaster of emotions for me. At this point, I was just angry. Angry at everyone involved in this whole ordeal, myself included. Now then, if I may, I'd like to discuss something a bit outlandish with you. Okay? Would you like to see your dead friends again? The fuck? Huh? That certainly got our attention. We both perked our heads up immediately. Spirits that have died in the Nirvana are said to roam its grounds, trapped and unable to find rest. As such, your friends' souls may still exist on that plane. Seiko! There are actually a number of useful magics listed in the Book of Shadows. Aside from the spell Yoshie used to create the new Nirvana, there's also a spell of revival. Didn't we try that? Yeah, dude, we tried that in Depths of Despair, and we killed Yoshiki. Not Yoshiki, we killed not Kishinuma, we killed Satoshi. Oh my god. Nakashima and I knew about that one all too well. Yeah. Forcefully returning a life to this plane is, of course, dreadfully taboo, as it's considered an affront to the will of God by virtually all religious organizations. Oh. Ishinuma seemed a bit more confused than he probably should have been, though I suspect the look on my face may have had something to do with that. I'd performed that spell, the very one Aiko was describing. It took hours, failed miserably, and killed my sister. All at once, the guilt returned. I lowered my head solemnly. Aiko grinned at me, and I had this sinking suspicion it was because she somehow knew what I was thinking. Though I couldn't be sure, and I certainly didn't know how she could. Still, who cares about bullshit like that, right? You can be blasphemous, you can break every commandment, bring it on! You'll do whatever it takes to resurrect your dead friends, no? All you have to do is find that book and cast that spell once more within Heavenly Host Elementary. Your chances of success would be much, much higher there, don't you think? Hold on, do you have any idea what you're saying? What happens if things get even worse? I didn't exactly mean to interrupt Kishinuma, but quite honestly, I didn't even realize he was talking. Damn, how you gonna treat the husband like that? I was too focused on what Aiko had just said. You know about it, don't you? Our failed attempt at Yoshie's place, me and Nakashima. Hee. Aiko tilted her head at me, that very same wry smile creeping across her face. She'd gone from cold and emotionless to knowing and expressive in a mere instant. I don't think we really believed that was happening to us. It was like a dream. What we saw was impossible. What we experienced was impossible. I thought I was going insane. It shouldn't have been possible. We wouldn't have done it. I want to put all of this behind me. But it was real. Aiko pointed to the scar on my neck that went one step further and lightly brushed it with her hand. I could feel that touch deep within my soul. I suddenly found myself swallowing my next breath, practically cloaking on the thin... See? You came in contact with something ordinary people could never even imagine. Do you really think you can turn tail and run from that now? You know... All this reminds me of the second Corpse Party movie I'm gonna see really quick, if that's available. I'm really curious. Whoops party.
Don't tell me, baby, 'cause I don't really wanna know what happened last night. Oh no, just say it wasn't so. Just say you love me and let me fall back into sleep. And when I wake up, just say I